on Ammar as you were a soothing and calming effect on Ibrahim. And Ammar participates in all the military campaigns of Allah's Prophet. He was to be found in the front lines. When they were building a structure in Medina, Ammar was there participating. And the Prophet would go to him and he'd see the dust on his face. He'd take the dust off and says, Allahumma. The meaning of the sentence is, O Allah, support those who support Ammar and be the antagonizer of those who antagonize Ammar. And then the Prophet of Allah said, on this occasion, when everyone was participating and they were saying together, Allahumma la aisha illa aishul akhirah, Allahumma ansur al-ansara wal-muhajira. They were saying this in one tune. It's a verse of poetry. And they were all saying it together. And then an area collapses. And someone says, Ammar is injured. Ammar may be dead. And then the Prophet of Allah says, no, Ammar is not dead. Ammar is going to be killed by al-fi'a al-baghiyah. By that block of people who are transgressors, who are intruders, who are offenders, who are malefactors. In another hadith, Allah's Prophet says, Wayha ibn Sumayya, taqtuluhu al-fi'atu al-baghiyah. It's like saying, my heart goes out to Ibn Sumayya. He will be killed by this transgressing, this offending, this intruding camp. And then Allah's Prophet passes on, and Ammar still participates in the major military campaigns of the Muslims. He fights in Al-Yamama against Musaylama al-Kadhdhab, this person who came a couple of years after Allah's Prophet, or in that first year, and said, I am God's Prophet also. And in this campaign, Ammar loses his ear. His ear got cut off. And if there was a conspiracy somewhere for those who are of this opinion, the second successor to Allah's Prophet Umar appoints Ammar the governor over Kufa along with Ibn Mas'ud. There's a conspiracy here of they know what the relationship was between Ammar and Al-Imam Ali. If they were trying to conspire, why would they do something like that? Why would he do something like that? And then the day of Siffin comes. And Ammar says, as if he had a premonition, he had a feeling of what's going to happen. He says, as he goes out to Siffin, and he was a man who was known for his silence. He wasn't a person to speak much. He said, غدا نلقى الأحبة محمدا وصحبه. Tomorrow we will meet with our loved one, Muhammad and his company. And the battle of Siffin goes on. And this aggressive, transgressing power represented by the side of Muawiyah. Remember, he made a big issue about standing for the justice concerning Uthman at that time. Later on, we know that he wasn't concerned with that at all. He just wanted raw power. They were aware of what the Prophet said, so they were trying to avoid Ammar. What happens? What if they kill him? The first day, the second day, the third day, they avoided him in the first few days. But finally, the camp, the block, the military force of Muawiyah killed Ammar. And that was an authentication, an explanation of what the Prophet of Allah subhanahu said. وَيْحَ ibn Sumayya تَقْتُلُهُ الْفِئَةُ الْبَاغِيَةُ. It's clear here who the transgressors are. And it seemed like just this one event was going to have so much impact that immediately word went up to Muawiyah himself. What are you going to do? Ammar is killed. Everyone knew that Allah's Prophet said, تَقْتُلُهُ الْفِئَةُ الْبَاغِيَةُ. During the time of Siffin, Ammar said, لقد قاتلناكم على تنزيله واليوم نقاتلكم على تأويله. Before, meaning in the times of Mecca and Medina, we were fighting against you, meaning these same people. First it was, you did not agree that this affair, this Islam, this Prophet, this Quran were from Allah. We were fighting you because you were disputing this fact that this is from Allah. Today we are fighting you because of the way you are misinterpreting it, misunderstanding it. So when the word went all the way up to the commander of Al-Fi'a Al-Baghiyah, he couldn't deny the hadith. Everyone knew it. So what is he going to do? He says, and this probably says it all. If anyone is tuned in to these affairs, this says it all. He says, well, we didn't kill him. Actually, the people who killed him were the ones who forced him to leave his home and brought him to this war. Meaning that the side that Ammar was on was the side that killed him. This is a very obvious, a very clear, unambiguous explanation of the nature of these two sides that were locked into this type of clash that we feed with our ignorance and our silence, our mental absence, even today. Muawiyah becomes this first